Hey friends, welcome back. Today I am getting back into a series I completely forgot about, and that is the Wet n Wild Always Naked eyeshadow palette. I'm going to be doing a tutorial on this palette today on this look that I'm wearing. So I did already do my foundation, concealer, powder, brows off camera. So I will have the products that I used listed and linked down in the description box. All right, like I showed you guys in the intro, I'm gonna be using the Wet n Wild Always Naked palettes. And I'm gonna first go in with the shade here. I'm gonna be using the Morphe M332 brush. And I'm just gonna blend the shade here in the crease. First, I'm just gonna kind of focus it more so in the outer V, and then blend whatever's left on the brush in towards this way, and towards the eye, the inner corner of the eye. And this shade does have like little tiny golden flecks in it. And they show up maybe ever so slightly, like I'm using my magnifying mirror and I can kind of see them with that. But if I'm just looking at it with my regular mirror, I don't really notice those. Then with the Sigma Pencil E30 brush, I'm going to get a little bit more of that shade on this brush. And I'm going to run it here on the lower lash line just to smoke this out. I'm going to be using this dark chocolate brown, but make sure you tap the brush off really well. Sometimes I'll even just tap a little bit of it there on the back of my hand just so it doesn't apply too heavily at first. Since this is really pigmented, you can apply too much of it at once. So it's best to just go in a little bit at a time to build the color up. Sorry if you could hear my stomach. I haven't eaten yet today and I just feel like it made the weirdest sound. So I'm just using little circular motions here. So I know I've showed you guys this before, but I do the brush this way, little circular motions, and then when I'm taking it into the crease a little bit more, I turn it the other way so it can create more of like that V shape out here. I just love this chocolate brown color. Like, it blends out so nicely, and I just think this shade is so pretty. Like, it creates a lot of depth in the outer V. I just really like all the shadows in this palette. Like, they blend out so nice and they last for a really long time on the eyelid. Like, they last all day until I take my makeup off at the end of the day. So I think that this palette is such a hidden gem. So I just got some of that same brown on the tip of this Sigma E25 or Sigma E30 brush. And I'm just gonna blend a little bit of that here on the lower lash line and also connect that to the outer V color. For the lid shade, I'm gonna be using the shade here, and this shader, like pointed concealer type brush. I got this out of an Amazon brush set. So I'll have that set linked down below. And I'm just gonna place this shade on the lid here and lightly tap that over like the brown shade right here to kind of blend those two shades together. Then I'm going to use this matte cream as my brow bone highlight, and I'm using this angled e.l.f. brush. Just going to brush that here. And then I'm also going to take a little bit of this and use it. I'm going to have to blend that. That was a little too strong. I just wanted to use a little bit of this as like an inner corner highlight. There we go. Just to kind of lighten that area up a little bit. So I'm just going back with my blending brush and that original color that I used in the crease. And I'm going to lightly blend around the edge of that darker shade and also the brow bone highlight, just to make sure that things look seamless here. and also just to warm that area up a little bit more. For my blush today, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Color Icon blush in Naked Brown. I think that this is such a beautiful blush. Like, it pairs so nicely with this palette, just like these earthy, natural tones. And I love the Naked Brown. So I'm just using the Morphe M241 to apply this blush, and it's very pigmented, so I'm going to have to blend that out. I forget how pigmented this blush is, but it's such a pretty color. This one and Mellow Wine are probably my two favorite blushes of all time, and especially from Wet n Wild. They're just such classic blushes. This is a completely matte blush. And then for my bronzer, I'm using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is in Deep Bronzer. And I really like this one. Blends out really nice. I love the way that the butter bronzers smell. I really like this tone. And this bronzer does have like a slight sheen to it. So I'm just putting this like in the areas where the sun would naturally like tan my forehead. And then I'm just lightly taking this like here in the areas like where I would contour. I just have been finding this technique where I do my blush and then my bronzer to be a little bit better, at least for me. I find that sometimes I just apply bronzer a little too much and it can kind of muddy up my blush. So I'm just taking whatever's left here on my nose and also just blending some on my jawline and neck here. For my makeup setting spray, I'm going to be using the LA Girl setting spray. I just always, oh, actually before I do the setting spray, I totally forgot. I am going to use a highlight. I wanted to bust out this Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Opal. And I know that like Becca isn't a brand anymore. It like Smashbox took them over, and Smashbox sells these highlights. So technically this is Smashbox times Becca, but this is the one that I have is from when Becca was still around. Like, these highlights will last a lifetime. So, or at least I feel like they will, because you just don't need much of it, and there's so much product in there. But I love the shade in Opal. It's just a pretty champagne gold color. And now I'm going to go in with the setting spray, the LA Girl setting spray. Now that the setting spray has dried, I feel like my T-zone is a little bit shiny, so I'm going to go ahead and just set like my T-zone again with my setting powder, and I'm just using this MCO Beauty Miracle Pressed Powder just to kind of knock down some of the shine there on the face. So I'm just going to curl up my lashes before I apply my mascara. And I always like to do my mascara after my makeup setting spray, because if I do it before, my lashes have a tendency to fall down because of the setting spray, you know, just getting them wet. So I'm going to be using the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. This is my all-time favorite. Okay, so I've got 3 different lipstick options that I'm kind of torn between, and I don't know which one I want to wear today. So this first one is the Clinique Black Honey Almost Lipstick. So I'm going to put that one on. You can let me know down in the comments, out of these 3, which one you like the best with this. I think it looks really nice, so I might end up wearing this one. We'll just see. I mean, I feel like all of these are going to look really good, so it's going to be hard to pick. Okay, this next one is a Maybelline Color Sensational Lipstick in Crazy for Coffee, I think. Yeah, Crazy for Coffee. I mean, it's not like super different. Probably none of these are going to be extremely different, but just like classic bullet lipstick. It's been a minute since I've worn like a classic lipstick, so maybe I should wear this one today. It goes really well with the shirt that I'm wearing. Okay, and this is the Chapstick Total Hydration in Sunset Nude. So I don't know, like, let me swatch these on the back of my hand so I can see what they look like against each other, because I really picked some very similar colors. Yeah, it's like that Sunset Nude is very similar to Crazy for Coffee. It's just like more of a balm. So there's the Sunset Nude, there's Crazy for Coffee, and then let's swatch Clinique Black Honey. So both Clinique Black Honey and that Sunset Nude, they're both like more balm types. So this is like, they're both kind of in between. The lipstick, to be honest, this is just a little bit darker, more brown. This is a little bit more reddish, kind of brownish toned. So I think I'm gonna do the lipstick just because it's been a long time since I've worn a bullet lipstick. Okay, so this is Maybelline Crazy for Coffee. But I think this is a really gorgeous nude shade with this palette. So this is the final makeup look with the lip. Get my hair out of the way. I think this is a beautiful fall makeup look. I mean, I would wear this any time of the year, but this is definitely such a pretty fall look. I know we're not quite there yet, but I'm already like getting into the fall mood with everything. Like, the weather has been getting a little bit cooler, like in the mornings it's been in the 60s this past week, so that's really exciting. But like yesterday, I think the high got up into the 90s, and today I think it's going to be the upper 80s. So I'm hoping that the humidity isn't as bad today, because I'm going to go hang out with a girlfriend here in a little bit. But anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial, my second look with the Wet n Wild Always Naked. I'm going to be doing several other looks with this palette. I totally forgot I was doing a series on this. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I will see you all in the next one, and I hope that you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.